I'm 18 and I've been training martial arts, specifically Kung Fu, for 13 years of my life. And in this video I'm going to be breaking down what I learned aside from kicking, punching and receiving 2 black belts that actually improved my life, improved my productivity, and I use still to this day. It's going to be an actionable video. I'm going to give you actual tips to implement into your system, into your productivity routine to help you make progress. So I'd advise you watch to the end. Hello, I'm Dylan, I'm 18 and I coach on productive people to turn productive once and for all, as I personally spent over 5,000 hours or 210 days straight wasting any potential I had on Call of Duty and other such video games. I was hooked, I was in the trap and in this rut of procrastination. However, I did turn it round. I effortlessly and easily breezed through large banks for my work, for my business, for my education, and for my personal development goals now, and I help others do the same with this YouTube channel, with my services, and if you're interested, subscribe. But even though I trained hardly missing weeks for years upon years upon years, only in hindsight can I see the skill it was building me? Can I see the benefits that I now can reap because I know exactly what they are? And firstly, you don't improve without intention. You have 2 people and they both train the exact same amount of time. One becomes a master fighter. You know, they're insane at sparring, they beat everyone, and they're incredibly good at martial arts. The second, who spent the exact same time, doesn't have that result. Why? What is the reason? And the reason is intention. You can punch every single day of your life, but if you don't have the intent of improving even just 1% on that punch, the bend in your arm that you now have, the rotation of your fist, the covering over your knuckles, the arc of your punch, if you don't have the intention of improving even just 1% every single week, every single day, you won't progress. And I see it personally, like anecdotally, I've seen these kids come up through, they trained with me back in the day and they got to 14, 15 and then they quit because they were still in the same position where they didn't do too well because they turned up, they did the stuff they needed to do and then they didn't improve because they had no intention of improving and fine-tuning the craft. And how can we apply this to our productivity? Try to implement the Kaizen technique. Work with AI, literally just ask AI at the end of every single week, here's how my week went, I did this, I did that, I did the other, how can I streamline it? How can I make it more productive? How can I save time while getting, if not better results in the exact same thing I'm doing? And you'd be surprised the changes you can make. For me, recently, the biggest thing for me to realize to streamline was from AI itself. I asked it, I'm telling it the stuff I'm doing, and it dawned upon me, it told me to use kind of preset templates for my videos. A lot of my videos are the same, I use similar resources in between each videos, so why not have a preset resource for the introduction, a preset resource for the promo, etc. It just makes sense, and it's improved my productivity and my efficiency by just under 4%. And it seems negligible, it seems small, but 4% compounded week on week on week on week on week is going to separate me from the competition, and I'm going to be the person who's good at fighting. I'm going to be the person who's good at YouTube because I have the intent on improving. The second thing I learned is that experience is everything. I was thinking about this, I was sparring literally yesterday, sparring someone, they're very good, they're really good at fighting, and they're still just not able to hit me. I'm moving out the way, etc, etc, and I was thinking in my head while sparring, what is the difference between me and this individual? They're a really, really good fighter, they have the move, they have the technique, they have their favourite combinations, etc. What is the difference between me and this fighter? And it's simply just experience. It's simply just turning up every single week, improving, and practicing more and more. And that's the only thing that separates us. And that got me thinking, this applies to productivity because experience is everything. If I didn't have the thousands of experiences in the sparring matches, fighting people who are better than me, worse than me, etc., I wouldn't be above that person. I wouldn't be, slightly better than that person. And all they need is just more experience, and they'll be on the exact same level playing field. So how can we apply this to productivity? And it's the idea that you just need to try more. Something's not working, you're struggling with the productivity system, you're trying this technique, you've tried planning your day this way and it didn't work. Now you have the experience, the data, as long as you write it down, which I'd advise you do, you test the productivity and technique, you attempt, and then you see if it worked. You write down, oh, how effective was it? Was that bank of work effective? Did I get through it easily? Did I procrastinate? Did I feel like I was in the flow of the work? And then you adapt, you make the changes, you change the technique, you change the way you implemented the technique. Maybe you did it at the wrong time. Maybe you didn't account for your temperature optimum, the idea that there's a specific point during the day where you're going to be maximally focused. And then guess what you do? You attempt again and you repeat the process until you have this fine-tuned system that is going to put you above the competition, as it did for me in training, as it does for me in my productivity, as it does for me in my discipline to do the work I say I'm going to do, right? Attempt, adapt, attempt, adapt, attempt, adapt. Make sure you have that bank of data to look upon. So when you sit down, you're procrastinating, you have a toolbook, a strategy book of what works for you to pull you out of this rut of procrastination and get you to do the work. And if you're looking for a surefire strategy, if you're looking to cut out the middleman and reach those strategies without the 2,000 hours of work on productivity, then that's exactly what I'm offering in the top link in the description. I won't bog you down with the details too much, but essentially you get my help for 30 days. I'm guaranteeing you 20 out of 30 days productive, or I'll work with you 100% for free until you get that result. You'll get my award-winning, scientifically backed physical planner, an app, my personal exclusive productivity strategies, my personal phone number, every single thing you need to turn productive. Any problem you face with productivity and procrastination, I will solve in just 30 days of working with you. And in terms of daily pricing, it's cheaper than the coffee you buy every single day. It's finally time for you to start investing in something that's going to give you a return. If that sounds interesting, check it out. But what else have I learned from training for this long? And the final thing is a bit wishy-washy, and it's the idea that you don't regret doing good habits, right? No one has ever regretted going to the gym. No one goes to the gym, does a good workout, comes home sweaty, fatigued, and feeling the endorphins rush through their body and go, I regretted that session. No one goes to training, spars, fights, trains, stretches, works out, and comes home sweaty, drenched, and again with that rush of endorphins and says, I regretted that training. So on these days where you feel like you don't want to turn up, you should turn up, because you only regret if you don't go. If you go, you never regret it. You're happy you went. You're happy you turned up and implemented the discipline side of yourself, but you only regret if you don't go. So find the internal drive. Use the mantras that get you to go. Your treasure you're seeking to find lies in the cave you're not willing to enter. And yeah, that is what I've learned from 13 years of martial arts training, and I hope you found this valuable. Again, if you're looking to get my personal help, if you're looking to have this toolkit to pull you out of procrastination, to save you and your productivity, allowing you to reach success faster, then the top link in the description will take you there. I appreciate you for watching.